All right. Hi, everyone. So y'all should be popping in here pretty soon. So my name is Natalie Eicher. I'm the Undergraduate Student Affairs Advisor for the Department of Political Science. We're just going to give another couple seconds for folks to hop on in, and then we'll get started. But hopefully you all are having a good day. It was shared with me that the applications for all the UCs opened yesterday. So I know you all are excited to get started and to get that, taken care of and off your to-do list. So hopefully you get to check out, our presentation and other presentations going on. And as far as this goes, I see that you all can hopefully hear me. If you can't, then let us know through the Q&A because I want to make sure y'all are able to access this. But I think we're just going to get started. So again, my name is Natalie Eicher. I'm the undergrad advisor for the Department of Political Science, and this is our Triton Talk. So a little bit about me. I have been the advisor for the department since 2017, so almost 3 years. I was a transfer student, so after high school, I went to Palomar Community College, which is in North County in San Diego. Then I transferred to UC Irvine. And then after I completed my undergrad, I did my master's degree in counseling from CSU Northridge. And then shortly after that, I came and started working for UCSD. So a little bit about, what the heck I do for the department. So, if you all become political science majors here, I would be your advisor. And then I also have a colleague, Joanna, who's helping me in the background with this Zoom. And she also is an individual that you would get to know. She is our OSD liaison for the department. So what that means is she helps students along the process of receiving accommodations for their disabilities. So we advise on major and minor requirements. We help you with quarter and long-term planning. We help you with course petitions. We help you with your requirements, with your degree approvals, pretty much anything and everything having to do with your academics pertaining to the department. I also provide oversight and coordination of department programs and department events throughout the years. Right now they're virtual, but hopefully at some point they will be in person as well. We also provide resources for you all, some documentations, information, referrals to other units, really anything and everything pertaining to what you need and what you have questions about. As a department advisor, I'm also an informal liaison just for other campus support services. So that's tying back to those referrals because I don't know everything and I can't know everything, but I do know who does know that information. So I can help you along the way. I also, help analyze department and academic policies just to make sure that you know what you need to do and how to navigate everything that goes on at the university. So enough about me. This is more about you all and as possible political science students here at UCSD. So our goal in the department is to help you all develop the knowledge and skills to excel as 21st century citizens and leaders. So that's looking at the local, state, national, and global level. We will achieve this in many different ways, but of course it's connecting you all with what's going on in the world right now, helping you build that foundational knowledge and those problem solving skills, introducing you to research and looking at data, whether that's qualitative data, quantitative data, and what that all means and how that can be interpreted. And then again, that further development of those critical thinking skills, your speaking skills and your writing skills. So all of that can be transferable after you leave UCSD as well. So again, it's really making sure you all are prepared for your time with us and then after us once you graduate. So we have a bunch of subfields in the departments. These are the major ones up on the screen. So you'll see American politics, comparative politics, data analytics, international relations, political theory, public law, and public policy. And just a little bit of a description about each. So when you look at these, it's a really great way to understand what we are about and the types of courses that we offer in our department. We also have majors, of course. So we have 9 different majors, actually. So you'll see that on the left. We added our newest major, which is political science, and then race, ethnicity, and politics, starting this quarter. So we're really excited about that addition to our curriculum. 2 years before, we added in our political science data analytics major. And then also this year, we added a 4+1 program, which I'll talk about in the next screen. But if you all do come to our department and the university, just know that we will require you to complete 16 political science courses. So 4 of those are lower division courses and 12 are upper division. And for those of you who choose a major with an area of concentration, so political science, international relations is an example of one, then at least 5 of your upper division courses need to pertain to that area. But then there are electives as well. So all of our courses do need to be taken for a letter grade, so keep that in mind as well. So like I said, we added what I like to call a 4+1 program, but more officially it's called a joint degree program. So this is the Political Science International Affairs Bachelor of Arts degree with a Master of International Affairs, or an MIA degree, from the School of Global Policy and Strategy. So we just started it this quarter, which means that we will accept our first cohort of students in this dual program in April of 2021. So this isn't its own terminal major in the way that our other majors are structured. This is a curriculum in which if you do come to our department and you are able to be accepted into the graduate program, then your major will switch to Bachelor of Arts in International Affairs. So this is where students complete their undergraduate coursework within 3 years, so that the 4th year they're at UCSD, you would pay undergraduate tuition, but be taking master's level classes. And then your 5th and final year, you would be finishing up the master's curriculum. So it's a really great way to complete your undergrad degree and a master's degree within 5 years. So that's why I say 4+1. But yeah, so we're really excited about it. It's pretty unique to our department, the university, and even amongst the UCs. So we know that it's been something that our students have wanted for ages, and we're really excited to finally be offering it. So going on to more exciting things. So department opportunities, we do try and keep our courses up to date and exciting for you all. So I can say that probably within the past 5 years or so, we've added about 50 to 55 new courses that we offered to students. So that's really exciting. I know that new classes are coming through the pipeline every single year because we want to make it relevant to you all and what's happening now in the political sphere. We also have professional development workshops for you all. So these are workshops on like resumes, cover letters. We might have internship panels. We bring in study abroad to talk about those opportunities. We talk about like the UCDC program, which I'll speak a little bit about later. We talk about graduate school. And we look at what can be offered in the future as far as programs and what that looks like in terms of planning. But my thought on this is really whatever you all want to see, just let us know. So when you become a student here, you're going to be able to have that voice and to advocate for what you want to see. And then us as advisors, we can look at what we have to see what we can offer in the future. And then we also have a local internship research program. So this is a great way to get experience in an internship and get units toward your degree, so your general degree. And then also, if you want to do a project or a paper and then get credit towards your major requirements. So that's one of those things that I'll touch on a little bit down the line, but a lot of our programs in the department, you are able to get academic credit towards your major requirements. So, how I explain it to students is like, you can still take classes and take part in these programs without it being an extra burden on your shoulder. So we want you all to finish your degree in a timely manner and also be able to partake in these, co-curricular activities. So this is just a great perk that I think our students are able to have. Of course, UCSD is a research university, and so our department is no exception to contributing to that. So in our department, we have the research apprenticeship program. So the top portion that you see on the screen, this is where you as a student would be able to work with a doctoral student in our department, because we do have a PhD program, and work with them on their research projects, which change every year. And then again, get academic credit for it. So you would generally work about 12 hours a week on these projects. This would be in the winter and spring quarters during your junior or senior year. And then you can also enroll in an optional course for the spring to write a paper with your mentor, and again, get credit for it. So again, a great way to get experience within research. A lot of students who participate in this program, this is their first, foray into research, and it's a great way to prepare them for graduate school down the line or careers that involve research. We also have independent research, or independent study is what we sometimes call it. This is through a class called Poly 199. And so this is where you would do research with a faculty member. And usually this is going to be one of their projects versus one of your own ideas or research projects. But sometimes if a professor is up to it and you have a very compelling case, they might be able to work with you on your project and your ideas. So again, a really great way to not only get experience in research and get academic credit, but have those networking opportunities with our grad students and with our faculty. We also have a senior honors program. So, if you're really interested in pursuing graduate school or really, owning in on your research skills and writing skills, this would be a really great opportunity for you. It's not easy, but those who do partake in this find that it is very useful and helpful for them to get to where they want to be afterwards, which is usually a grad program. So this is where you have a faculty advisor in our department, and over the course of 2 quarters, you are writing a thesis. And so we actually have all of the theses that have earned a level of honors or higher on our department page. So we're very transparent about that. If y'all are ever interested in pursuing something like this, should you come to our department, we have that available for you to look at. It is a lot of work, like I said, but many of our students go on to do PhD programs. I know that one student from last year is currently at Yale doing their PhD program. Another one is at UCLA this year. And then one from 2 years ago is currently at Columbia. And some students even become doctoral students in our own department too. So it's a great opportunity. We also have an alumni mentor program. So this is not one in which you would get academic credit, but it's still super worthwhile as far as that networking component. So this is where you would be connected with 2 alumni from our department. And so one would most align with like a career that you're really interested in. So that's why we have what we call a career track mentor. And then we have an exploratory track mentor. So this is someone who maybe has a job that you're like kind of interested in, or works in an area that you're thinking about but aren't really sure. And so that's why you would explore that area more as you converse with them. So again, this is a great way to connect with our alumni and really think about and talk about what that college to career transition actually looks like. And if what you want to do is actually what you want to do based on, the realities of the job force. So as far as campus opportunities, there are a few that our students partake in a lot because they are able to get credit towards their major. So the first two are the UCDC program and the UC Center Sacramento program. So both are pretty similar in the sense that you would be at either location, Washington, D.C. or Sacramento for a quarter, and you would have an internship and then take classes. The differences comes down to, besides the location, the types of internships that you would do, as well as like the quantity of classes and like the types of classes that you would take while you partake in these opportunities. So for both of these political science majors, especially, can get credit towards, your major requirements. So this is why like our students partake in these probably more often than any other major or majors on campus, just because it really aligns with what students want to do. And you don't have to, be interested in just politics or just law to, move forward with this type of program. Students who are interested in healthcare or transportation, policy work, even research within the political science realm, both of these opportunities are great and can really give you that work experience that you would need after you graduate from UCSD, as well as that professional network. So one thing I do want to clear up is that while our department is a huge supporter of these programs, we don't officially oversee them. So we would connect you with the UCDC coordinator for our campus, who I refer students to all the time. And this program is mostly for students who are in their junior or senior year, but I know that sometimes there's a bit of leniency for those who are sophomores. Another popular program for our students is study abroad. Now, I know no one is going anywhere these days, and certainly not out of the country, but hopefully this isn't the reality forever. And so hopefully if you all choose to come to UCSD, this is something you all are able to partake in during your time here. And of course, we support it as well, especially because political science is a discipline that exists everywhere in the world. So of course, we want you to be global citizens and to just be knowledgeable about what politics looks like on other countries, but of course, how to connect with people who are from different backgrounds and different cultures than your own, because we are global citizens. And so we want to make sure that you all are prepared for that as well. So the cool thing is that not only do political science programs exist pretty much on every continent in the world, except for Antarctica, but students are able to find a variety of poli-sci courses when they do go abroad. And as you see right in the middle of the screen, we do allow up to 6 courses from outside UCSD to count towards the major requirements. So like I said before, y'all are required to, complete 16 classes if you choose to come to our program. And if you're able to transfer in 6 classes from outside the university towards your major, that's a pretty great ratio. And those classes can come from like a little bit from community college if you're a transfer student or an incoming freshman student, but maybe you were in dual enrollment. It could be from, a little bit of study abroad, and then a little bit from UCDC or UC Center Sacramento. So you can mix and match what that looks like in order to help complete your degree. And then we also have the global concentration in political science. This is not a major or anything. It's just something that would be transcripted on your transcripts. So it wouldn't be on your diploma or anything. It's just something a little extra that you did that you can talk about when you are speaking to employers or applying to grad school. So the global concentration really just showcases that you've had study abroad experience, you have adequate language skills, and then you've taken courses that have a global context. So as far as requirements go, you would need to have at least 8 units from study abroad, with 4 of those pertaining to your major. You need to show a demonstration of proficiency in a second language through the 4th quarter of instruction. So some of y'all, if again you choose to come to us, may fulfill this just because you know another language really well and are able to test out of that requirement. And then the last requirement is a minimum of 2 courses with department or program identified global content. And many of our political science courses are able to qualify for that. All right, so moving on to careers in graduate school. So like I said before, hopefully you all decide to come be part of our department. And if you do, eventually you will leave us and graduate. So we do want to make sure you are prepared. And so I do just want to be transparent about this idea that your major is not boxing you into a particular career field or a particular job. What you're going to be learning inside the classroom as well as outside the classroom in terms of your co-curricular involvements, maybe volunteering, having an internship, having a job, connecting with others. All of those skills are going to come together to, help you understand who you are holistically and what you are able to offer, an employer or offer a graduate program, and that you are going to be successful after, you graduate from UCSD. So really think about, adding to what you already do and adding to what you're learning to make sure you are the best type of person and candidate for your future success. Like I said before, we do offer a lot of workshops in the department every quarter. This is from this past academic year. And yes, we still had some events in the spring when we were virtual. So we're keeping that up, as COVID continues, and we'll see what it looks like in the future, but we do want to make sure that we are offering programs and events for you all that are worthwhile. So this is just a list of what we've done before, but like I said before, this can change moving forward. It could stay the same. It really just depends on what students want. And so we know that some type of workshops are always going to be wanted or always going to be popular, but different ones may change from quarter to quarter or year to year. And we're totally fine with that. It's really, again, what you all would want to see. In our department, we also have the Krinsk Houston Law and Politics Initiative. So this isn't something that you need to buy into or need to apply separately. This is just part of our department, and any major of ours is invited, to participate in these types of programs that are offered through the initiative or the classes that we have associated with it. And most of those classes are geared towards public law. But again, any student can take those classes. You don't need to be a political science public law student to do so. This initiative has just allowed us to fund some of those classes or fund some of those internships or provide events for students, whether they are, again, in person or virtual. And, of course, when we think about excellence, we think about excellence in the classroom and out of the classroom. But within the classroom, you have, your professors, the faculty in our department. And so Tom Wong, Molly Roberts, Thad Kauser, and Marissa Abrahano, these are just 4 of our over 40 full-time faculty in the department. And we have many more that teach students in the department as either adjuncts or lecturers, maybe professors of practice as well. So meaning that they have really important roles within the world of work. And then they use their experience to teach you all what that actually looks like. So again, these are just a few of our faculty. We do have a page dedicated to all of our faculty in the department, their research, what they do. So I would recommend you all to take some time, outside of your application time, of course, to really see who is part of our department, the classes they teach, and really what their research is all about. All right, so again, focusing on student involvement and support. So like I said, y'all are more than just students. You all have lives outside of academics, and we want to support that as well. So on this page are just a few of the student organizations that pertain to political science in some way. So we have our Political Science Student Association, we have Mock Trial, we have Model UN, we have Pi Sigma Alpha, which is the National Political Science Honor Society. And then we have the Prospect Journal. So there's tons more, however, and of course, as you all probably know as well, just from either high school or your current community college, if you're a transfer student, you don't have to be involved in something that is pertaining to your major. You can be involved in something totally different, and that's fine. We just really like to see students who are doing something more than just their academics, because again, that's going to really showcase to employers and future, graduate schools of what is important to you and what you are able to handle and what type of leadership skills you are gaining along the way. And then as far as transitioning to UCSD, I know that this has been quite an interesting few months for everyone involved. And so, the same is said of our students that started with us this quarter, our incoming freshmen and transfer students. And so, we do share with our students that there are many different resources to help you along the way. These are just a handful. There's many, many more, and I can go on and on about what those are. But I think these are some of the top ones that I refer students to. So really thinking about the programs that help support, your academic success, as well as like your mental success and emotional success here at UCSD too. And if you're a transfer student, there's also the Transfer Triton Hub, which was newly formed within the past year, which is serving all transfer students at UCSD. There's also the Office of Students with Disabilities, again, to help those of you who have more obvious or non-obvious disabilities through the transition process and accommodation process at UCSD. And then of course, we have counseling and psychological services. We call it CAPS, but they provide free resources for students, confidential resources, and counseling and crisis services for UCSD service students. And they've definitely been helping students along the way these past couple of months because of COVID. And I know that all student support services have been doing, what they can to help our current students as well as our future students, feel more welcomed in the environment. But, with that said, we're coming to the end of at least my part of the presentation. So I know y'all have been hearing me talk for like 30 minutes. So I'm going to stop it there and I am going to look at the Q&A. And so if y'all want to start asking some questions, you can pop them there and hopefully I can answer them. So the first question I see is there a huge difference in the curriculum between international affairs and international relations? So, I mean, the biggest difference is that the one with international affairs is leading into the master's in international affairs program. So the courses that students are required to complete are more specific and tailored to that area. There are less electives that students are able to choose from because of that. I know that at the lower division level, there is a specific class that students would need to take It's called Poly 5, and it's data analytics for social sciences. That's a class that's usually only required for our data analytics majors and not our other majors. So that's one of the changes. But yeah, the curriculum is pretty similar, but there are some slight differences. If you go on our department website, we actually have a specific major page for the international affairs, major / joint degree program, and then a separate one for international relations. So that's something, I should have shared with them or shared with you all earlier, but all of this information that I've talked about today, you can find on our department website. This is just a very curated, presentation of all that we offer. I see another question that says, if I'd like to double major with one being in political science, can the other one be in a different department? Yes, and it would actually have to be. So you cannot double major within the same department. So you can't have like a political science public law major as well as a political science international relations major. But yeah, so you can double major with any other major that UCSD offers. Now, of course, there are some stipulations, like if you want to double major with one that is impacted or capped, so like electrical engineering is one of them, then you would need to go through a process in order to be approved for that. Now, I know some of y'all might be laughing and saying, what political science major would double major with one from engineering? But I do know a few folks who have double majored within engineering and political science. And when I asked them why, they said that they wanted to study patent law, which is a specific type of law in which you have to have a degree in a STEM field in order to practice that kind of law. So I thought that was interesting. So someone says, so economics and political science would be a valid choice? Yes, it would be. And we actually have a lot of students that double major with economics and political science, especially because I believe economics is not capped anymore. At least they weren't last year. And so we got a lot of students who went in that direction. And the cool thing about double majoring as well is that depending on the other major you choose, you might have the benefit of overlapping up to 2 classes between both majors. So think of that like a Venn diagram, in that, you have one major that has a set amount of classes, and then, the political science major that has another set of classes, and then they share 2 of them. So that saves you a little bit of time and a little bit of money. But of course, it does depend. So like there aren't any overlap classes between like theater and political science, for example. So I have a question from someone that says, what is it like minoring in political science? So a minor is less courses than a major. So if y'all are thinking about minoring in political science versus having a major, that's totally fine. We have 2 different minors. We have a general political science minor, and it's 7 classes. And at least 5 of those classes need to be upper division courses. And so you can have like 1 lower division political science class, 6 upper division, 2 lower division, 5 upper division, or all 7 upper division courses. And so Joanna is popping that link in the chat for everyone of, again, where you can find our webpage for what that looks like if you want to minor in political science. And then we have our other minor. So that's a political science data analytics minor. Sounds very similar to our major, but again, it's only 7 classes. 2 of them are required lower division courses. One of them is Poly 5, which is data analytics for social sciences. The other lower division course is Poly 30, which is political inquiry, which is also a class that's required for all political science majors. And then the 5 upper division courses must be from the data analytics curriculum that we offer. So yeah, we also have a page on that as well. But were there any questions that you all had? I know that was a lot. This will be recorded, so if you want to recap what was shared before, don't worry about it. It'll come up before. Another common question. Someone says, is there a big difference between the international studies political science BA and the political science international relations BA? Yes, and we get that question all the time. So international studies political science is a completely different major than our political science international relations major. It's also in a different department. So it's in the international studies program department area. And I know that that major requires different courses. So they also, they require I believe it's International Studies 101 and International Studies 102. They also require a language, which we don't. We don't require a language. And I know that that major requires 8 political science courses, while we require 16. So it's definitely different. I would say international studies just also has a different perspective and foundation on the classes that they offer and what they teach versus our classes have that foundation in political science and everything that we teach stems from that, while theirs is more of an international focus and not necessarily directly pertaining to political science. But I would definitely recommend that if you are interested in kind of thinking about what the differences are, you attend their Triton Talk if they are having one, or visit their website to learn more. I know that their website, very similar to ours, is full of helpful information on helping students decipher what the differences are. And then, so someone asks, theoretically, could I double major in both international studies and political science? So yes, however, there's a caveat. International studies also has different majors with different concentrations. And so you would be able to double major with international studies and with political science as long as the major you choose within international studies is not the international studies political science major. So you could choose international studies, international business, and then one of the political science majors. And you can double major with that because the curriculum, is not really overlapping. It's only with that international studies political science one that we wouldn't allow it because there's way too much overlap in the classes. So yes, it's not a theory. It's definitely doable and practical, and I see students pursue that route as well. All right, what other questions do you all have for me today? Maybe, a question you all have but aren't asking pertains to what does life look like for poli-sci students in this era of COVID? So right now in the fall, most of our classes, if not all of them, honestly, are being held in a remote fashion, so virtually. They are needing to be held or not held. Professors are being asked to provide all of their materials in an asynchronous format, meaning, for folks who are not in the California time zone, they should be able to access the information as well. So that means we aren't penalizing students who are, say, on the East Coast or are, in Europe or in Asia, who are trying to complete their degrees. Right now for winter, we're looking at a pretty similar process in which it's more than likely going to be remote. And although we don't know what spring is going to look like, I wouldn't be surprised if it is also more skewed towards remote. We're not sure what next year is going to look like, but just know that our professors have been working remotely since March and are doing what they can to assist students on you know, how they can navigate this virtual environment, because we know it's been difficult for, you know, you all as students. And so we do what we can to help. And sometimes that comes down to, you know, being more open, compassion, and just being aware of what students are going through and helping them along the way. So we have a question from someone that says, can I double major in political science and another major in the social science division because they aren't in the same department? Yes, you totally can. And again, it happens a lot. I would say the most common double majors are within the social sciences department. So that's like, you know, economics, sociology, ethnic studies, anthropology. I've also seen it within like arts and humanities. So that's like history, literature, linguistics, and again, sometimes in the STEM departments. So biology, I've seen, engineering, like I said before, really in a bunch of different departments. I've also seen it happen a lot where students from other majors add political science as a minor because of the career paths that they want to take. All right, so I have a question from someone that says, odd question, but for those who have a goal of eventually becoming an elected official, which specialization would you say is most useful? You say that you would assume public law or public policy. Well, it's really up to you. So what I mean by that is each of our majors, like public law or public policy, have those 5 courses, the upper division courses that pertain to that specific specialization. But then they have the 7 elective courses. And so those elective courses can be any upper division political science class. So you can either look at the curriculum that we offer and think about what classes you want to take for those electives, and see, you know, do they, you know, skew towards a certain area that you're interested in or want to, you know, move towards down the line. I would say a combination of public law and public policy would be helpful. And so when we do get students who are a little bummed out that they can't double major within the same department, I tell them like, hey, just choose one of the majors and then you can focus, you know, you have your area of concentration courses, and then you have your elective courses. And then so it can kind of be like half if you want it to be. And you aren't just stuck with those 5 area of concentration courses. If you chose political science, public law, and you fulfilled your area of concentration courses, the 5, and you wanted to take more, you totally can. It would just start bubbling into your electives, and that's fine too. So there's a lot of flexibility. And to your question, I would also say that really look into the minors that UCSD has and seeing like, is there a minor that would be a really great complement to what you want to do? And then finally, for that question, I would just recommend that you go to the Career Center or, you know, virtually, if that's the world that we're still in next year, and see what that career path looks like. I know that there are some resources on our department website within the careers and graduate school page that Joanna linked earlier, that have resources for you all to research a profession and see what type of education that people in that profession need. And so, you know, what is their pay scale? What are the types of experiences that they have in the day-to-day life? You know, what's kind of, you know, what they need to study, or what are the internships that are best? So those would be some, you know, helpful tools that I would recommend to you. And I know y'all are staring at the thank you screen, so I'm gonna stop sharing that for a bit and maybe y'all can see our faces a little bit more. But were there any other questions that, you know, you all had? I didn't want to keep you here if we didn't need to, but of course, this time is for you all. We can go until 4, but I'm sure you all have other things you need to do for your own classes, and then finishing up, you know, hopefully the admissions for UCSD. But if there are no other questions, then I will let you all go. And, I just want to say thank you all for being here. I know you all are all zoomed out, I'm sure. So thank you for taking the time, to listen to me talk for 45 minutes. And, I hope it has been helpful. Again, just make sure that you look on our department website and, for any information you might need. And if you want to contact me, you can find my information on our department website as well. And we should be, having this on our department page soon as well. And for those of you who are eligible to vote, please go do so if you haven't done so already. Make your voices be heard, and, be active participants in the life that we are living. And I hope you all have a great day, and thank you all for being with us. Bye.